Hello, this is Malorian, and now this will be the second game of Warhammer'd, and this will be now my Orcs up against some Wood Elves. So as it turns out, Wood Elves are fairly popular here. I think there was, three or four armies out of the group, much more than you'd expect to see. And really, I was really happy to be up against this army here. The thing is, of course, Wood Elves can be very sneaky and stuff, but the big thing with this mission here is what it's all about is just this center little crystal thing, this little tower in the center. Every single turn, there's about 5 or 6 different abilities you can make it give to one of your units. You can only pick one of those abilities once during the course of the game. But in the end, it's kind of like Watchtower. Whoever controls this wins. And for the most part, unfortunately, that's actually going to mean that it might be a tie, because it's going to be very difficult to have something there and have no enemy unit within 3 inches, especially when he has a bunch of Warhawk riders and crazy stuff like that. But for the most part, most of this Wood Elf stuff looked fairly weak. He was going to be forced on a small board edge here, and so he couldn't really run around me, and so I was feeling fairly strong about this. Just quickly to talk about what I have here, I have my Wolf Riders, my Wolf Chariot, my Shield Orcs, my Savage Orcs, the Mangler, Pump Wagons in the back. I had some stuff in the back to make sure he didn't put his scouts back here. Then you got Super Orc, the Black Orcs, and I got the one War Boss there. Then I have the Night Goblin Spearman, and I have Morco in there with the Wizard Hat, the Arrow Orcs, and then I got the Spiders, the Boar Chariot, and the Troll. Up on his side, I'm going to do his best. He had a ton of stuff, and I'm sure I'm going to miss something. But he had a small unit of Dryads, then he had an Eagle, it looks like. He has a big unit of 20 Dryads, and then the very biggest thing that's going to be the biggest worry is he had 12 Treekin. Just an amazingly expensive but very strong unit, so that's going to be very hard to deal with. Behind that, he has some of his skirmishing archers there, and he has his level 4 and some other characters there. He actually takes the special character, where it's like the 2 sisters, and they're on an eagle, and if you kill one and don't kill the other, it comes back to life. Forget their name right now. Then he has some Warhawk riders, I think 2 units of them, another eagle, and then he also has a very big unit of these Wild Riders. So, for my part, I don't care about them, because if they charge me, I can probably just grind them down. I got a lot of long-range things. I got Super Orc right up there to zip up and kill any of this stuff that comes too close. Oh, he also has a Highborn on a Great Eagle, or whatever his stuff can get. So that's somewhere in there too. But for the most part, all of his small stuff here on the right, I'm expecting to either shoot with my archers if he's going to stay far away. He has some Glade Guard in there as well, I should mention. I think 2 units of 10. But if nothing else, I'm going to be hitting it with magic. I can't even remember what magic I got this game. But, or I'll charge him with chariots, charge him with something. But the main thing, the very biggest thing I'm worried about is all those Treekin. One of the things I can get from the little tower here in the center, the crystal, is flaming attacks. So I already have flaming attacks on my Black Orcs, so they're already going to do tons of damage. I can always use the ability on the Savages, so whichever ways Tree can go, I can hit them. And really, even if I send in 1 unit and I lose in the end, the big thing is that I weaken enough that the second unit can come in, wipe them out, clear them away, and I'm just really going to be fairly aggressive here to kill as much as I can to keep them away from the little waystone in the center, if I'm going to have any chance to keep it away from being a tie. So during Vanguard movement, I just slightly move up my stuff, but his Wild Riders, he just moves right up here. So he's definitely one to be very aggressive with them, and I'm hoping just to kill these guys off pretty quick and get some easy points. And for this game, I decided to play it with a big old glass of Sambuca. So my opponent gets first turn, moves up a little bit. He has his Warhawks and stuff there to be annoying. But the main thing he gets done is he shoots up my Spiders pretty badly, and he also shoots up my Orc Archers, which are a pretty obvious thing to do. Looking at what we have here, what I'm guessing he's trying to arrange here on the right is that he wants me to charge his Eagle, overrun into his Wild Riders. He'll then flank me with his Lord on that Great Eagle, or whatever that thing is called, and then just hope to kill whatever I throw at them. So I don't know what unit he was hoping I was going to charge with, whether it was the archers or whatever. But the big thing is that if you look at the units on the right, I can always just charge them with my chariot and my troll, and not only can my troll just avoid the eagle in the front, but I can always just charge the eagle with the chariot, redirect if needed if he runs away. And the big thing is that if I beat these wild riders and they flee, they're off the table. You know, that's just the direction that they're going. So I'm hoping for a big jump here on my turn. So on my turn, I charge those both in. The eagle flies away and I redirect, but I fail both charges. So now I'm at the mercy of these guys, and that's not exactly the plan. To try and help and push some things up though, what I had done is charge Super Orc into his Warhawks there, and he fled, got away, but the problem is that because of where I landed, I'm now blocking my Black Orcs. So that's really throwing me back here, and that's not what was really the plan. So really what I'm doing then instead is I'm really pushing up on the left side, getting my savages right up there, kind of hoping he charges me right away. I can give them the flaming attacks, and then with the angle here, I should be able to swing around my Black Orcs and counter. But if nothing else, this wasn't too bad. And I can't remember the lore, but I actually remember one of my spells, the only one that's going to matter, is I had one that made you -1 strength and toughness. So say like on his turn, he had beasts, he actually made his wild riders +1 strength and toughness, and then I just countered it by doing my thing. On his turn, he charges me over here, and this could just start getting very annoying because he'll beat things here, and then he'll overrun, and then he's actually in my flank, and these guys are going to be a pain. But I get some luck. So in that combat on the right there, he beats me, but my troll holds. So thank God, you know, he's not going to be causing too much trouble here. Otherwise, a lot of his stuff reforms, moving it over, shoots some more archer orcs, and this is where the real standoff begins. He swings over his treekin now, because my Black Orcs are nowhere in position, and what he has there is the eagle in front of me. So, of course, what's going to happen is if I charge him, and overrun or whatever, then I'm going to be showing off my flank to the treekin. So I'm pretty much stuck there, and just to even make it more so, he's throwing down this whole snare thing so that if I charge, it's dangerous terrain and blah blah blah. So really I'm just going to have to wait there until I can throw something else in there to clear things up. So on my turn then, I have some charges. To deal with these wild riders, I send some archers into their flank and the war boss into the front there, and really just hoping just to kill enough to take away steadfast and just get rid of these guys so I can get back to normal. It is kind of risky throwing my general in there, but I think he should be fine with the toughness 5 and all that good stuff. And then Super Orc is just going to be a major pain because he was able to charge all the way into the archers. My Black Orcs had charged into his lord there, onto whatever mount that thing is, hoping to kill it and actually overrun into the flank of the treekin, but I mean, he was a smart guy and fled, and so much for that. So then in my turn, it looks like this. The Wild Rider combat did not go the way I expected it to. I really thought I was going to do a lot more, but I just killed a few there. He actually did a wound to my general, which is never a good thing. Super Orc kicked butt, destroyed the unit, overran, so that's hooray. He can now be causing trouble back there. And my Wolf Chariot had tried to charge his Dryads in the far left, wasn't able to actually do it. And yeah, the rest of the stuff is just standing there, and the big thing that's happening is I'm just trying to move over my Mangler Squig, or my Pump Wagon, to try and something that can come over here and deal with this eagle that's in my way. And now, this was pretty crazy. His turn. One thing that's really important about his special character is one person shoots a shot where you have to pass a strength test or else you can't move, and the other one shoots a big blast, which is huge in 8th year. I'm actually now knowing that. Surprised you don't see it a little bit more in these Wood Elf lists. But he does a big blast to my Savage Orcs. Looks like I'm going to be losing a whole bunch because he rolled really well. But look at here for my tattoos. Out of the, 11 or whatever saves I had to make, or that's 10, I made 6 of them. So, pretty good 6+ tattoo save. End of his turn then, it looks like this. He turned around, tried shooting into Super Orc, did a wound to him. The Wild Rider combat is just, oh, I couldn't believe it. The troll is now dead. He did another wound to my general, and I actually thought, well, that's it, I'm going to die next turn. But actually, luckily, my general broke and ran away. The good news is that the archers held and are holding up his flank, but wow, that's pretty bad news. And my boar chariot had rallied and was going to come back in and finish the job, but now my stupid general is in its way. So that's some bad luck there. And otherwise, he's just kind of like positioning around, and it's still the whole cat and mouse thing there on the left. So on my turn, so much for saving my war boss here. I can't remember what I really cast. I think it's the whole -1 strength and toughness thing, but I miscast and died. So much for my general, and now that can really spell bad news. And I'm actually now really worried about the whole game. First of all, because of the whole cat and mouse thing taking so long, I'm now thinking, well, it's going to be a tie no matter what. However, now that my general's dead, I can now start failing leadership tests like crazy, and things can go south very quick. End of my turn 3 then, it's looking like this. And pretty much what happened is I charged in my wolf chariot into his dryads, rolled piss poor for impact hits, did nothing there. Otherwise, you can see my boar boys are finally up there trying to do something. That's pretty much it. The black orcs are moving up, trying to make some pressure. Super orc turned around to go and threaten pretty much everything. And on the right there, he killed my archers and reformed, so yeah, things are just going to go bad. His turn 4, he charges my archer, or my boar chariot, and destroys it. He moves up some archers to go and shoot off at my super orc. I don't think he does any damage whatsoever, and this is probably the turn where he made his biggest mistake on the left. And I think really it was super orc that started this whole thing, and the problem was that where he was is that those scouting archers with all of his characters pretty much had nowhere to go. So I think he was trying to get all those treekin out of the way to not only get away from the black orcs, but just to make room for those characters and his scouting guys. So they charged over into my shield orcs, beat them, I broke. He decided to reform as you see them there. The eagle had to get out of the way. I think he should have probably just jumped on my mangler, but he didn't. He now has his big highborn there on the eagle, so you know, it's there to block me, to try and do the whole thing where I'll hit them and be forced to overrun. And his dryads went, and yeah, what happened there? I think they just ran up to be right in front of my boar boys on the left. I'm not really sure about that, but yeah, it's pretty interesting, and I think I have a good counter right now. My turn 4 then, and what I do is I send the pump wagon into eagle, kill it. Super orc is going into the other archers, beating them up, and the mangler squig, this is the big thing. I went and I threw it through my savages, doing a few wounds, through his eagle guy, killing it, and then going through his main bunker and killing almost all of them. So he really didn't think I could do that, so that really caught him off guard there. My shield orcs keep on running. My boar boys, yeah, fighting his dryads. I don't know why he did so poorly last time, but yeah, we're just still fighting there now. And I'm really liking the way this looks, because he's lost a whole bunch here on the right, and I mean, if I can keep that one big horde of 12 treekin away from the center and try and keep everything else away, I might be able to pull off a win, but we'll see. His turn 5, Super Orc keeps on killing guys. The Wild Riders running around looking to try and threaten some things. He didn't charge in with his treekin yet. I'm not really sure why, even though he did buff them up with a +1 strength and toughness. Still fighting my boar boys there on the left, just can't seem to kill them. They're doing fairly well this game. And then otherwise, his characters just running into the woods and trying to cast magic and shoot at me and stuff, but still alive. My turn then, I decide might as well go for it, right? We've been sitting around playing cat and mouse so long. Let's just do this. So I key up the waystone, give myself flaming attacks, and I'm charging in. So I got, you know, the 49 attacks or whatever, a whole bunch of savage attacks. I also got my war boss there. He is going to be +1 strength and toughness, so I won't be hitting as hard, but with flaming attacks, everything that goes through will be doing 2 wounds. So if nothing else, this is that whole theory where if I can crush these guys, then maybe either I'll get lucky and maybe I can break them, but if not, the Black Orcs can follow up. And so at the end, it kind of looks like this. Yeah, we just did a whole bunch of damage to each other. I can't really remember who even won that combat there. I think I won and he held. I can't remember. But the big thing is that we're still locked in combat there. Super Orc beating up some guys. I think they broke and ran away. My Mangler ran into the woods and died. And the biggest thing that happened this time is that it actually, with this game, it's random game length. And so on a 5+, it ends on game 5. And guess what we rolled? So game ends right now, even though he has all these fast units around that could just run up and make it a tie. Because the game ended right now, that's it, and it's a win for me. So victory to the Orcs. Man, I felt really lucky getting the win for this game. Like I was saying from the beginning, I thought it was a very good matchup for me. 2 strong units that could try and take on that Treekin with a scenario that would give me flaming attacks on top of Black Orcs that have it anyway. And but really, the main thing is because of that whole cat and mouse game that happened, because of sitting an eagle or whatever in front of my savages plus the spell, so I never wanted to move or else I'd be losing 1/6 or 1/3 of the unit. I just lost time, and it looked for sure, especially with my general dead, that it was giving me a tie. But no, it was a really interesting game. Great to see those Wild Riders doing so well. I always thought that they're probably one of the worst things to take in the book, and they sure proved me wrong in this game. They got their worth back in spades. Same thing, interesting to see that one special character in there, the 2 sisters. They did very well this game, doing a lot of damage to me, forcing me to take some strength tests. Luckily for me, I kept on passing them so I could move, but otherwise it could have been a major pain. And either way, you know, it was just a good opponent, lots of fun, and looking forward to the last game of the day.